vision, and core values. Please welcome Ms. Sybil Walker. She's a wealth support specialist at Truist. Sybil brings over 27 years of dedicated experience helping clients achieve their financial goals. She specializes in partnering with top-tier professionals to deliver comprehensive solutions, ranging from investments and banking to estate planning. Please join me in welcoming a leader devoted to exceptional service, Sybil Walker.
I'm gonna just kind of pass out and let everybody grab one. We won't really use this. I wanted to make sure everybody had one, just so that you can have it for your, just your personal use. Because it's an activity that's gonna really help us to look at our thoughts around retirement. Does anybody ever feel like you want to get to that point? Some of you are probably already there, but does anybody ever want to get to retire?
I'm gonna retire.
As I say that, I think about like some of us right now. My son is, Ms. Gloria asked, he's in South Carolina taking care of his grandparents because he's going through bouts of sickness. And while he's there, I asked him the question, I said, are you ready to retire now? Because he's had a week off from work, having to get up at 2 in the morning and get to the job, sometimes not getting off until 6 and 7 at night. You know, now he can get up when he wanna, he can lay down when he wanna, he can do some of the things that he enjoy doing. But that's what retirement we think about. You know, that's what we think about when we think of retirement. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. But as long as we got a 9 to 5, a 7 to 3, a 8 to 4, if we don't clock in during those times, somebody's watching us, right? And somebody may have something that they want to say to us about it. But there's gonna come a time when we won't have to clock in anybody's job. And I'm looking forward to that because even now, I'm still clocking in. So again, I'm Sybil Walker. I've been in the industry since 1993. So honestly, that takes us way back past 27 years. I still use 27 years as a target because I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still enjoying the work that I do. But as I look around the room, I was thinking, how many before some of you were born? I've been in this industry. And it's been an amazing journey. God has afforded me so many privileges, but the most important thing for me is the knowledge that He has given me by working with people who have done what I want to do. I've watched people, I've listened to people, I've gone to dinner with people, I've been the guest at the home of many people who have just told me their secrets. And y'all know what? So many times when I hear their secrets, I come and I share them with people that look like us. Because the unfortunate thing is, many of the people that invite me to their home, they don't quite look like me. They don't have the same background as I have. But the one thing I can tell people is they bleed the same blood that I bleed. That's right. It's all the same. And when we leave this earth, y'all, we're going to the same place. And so while we're here, we're going to learn from each other. And I value the things that they bring. So let's jump in real quick. Erica, let me make sure I'm doing this right. When I'm pointing this, I'm going to the next page. All right. Having a retirement mindset, that's one of the words that Ashley used repeatedly. It's about our mind. What am I thinking about? How is my mind being transformed? Am I being effective with the way that I think? The important thing that you're going to hear me talk about during this workshop, money is a tool. That's what I want us to remember. When we think, you know, I've listened to people say, money really don't mean nothing to me. Money really don't mean that much to me. You know why I would say that? Because we're working so hard to get it. the more we work to get it, sometimes it seems like the less we have. The rich don't say that. The rich look at it and they say money is a tool. I can make it do what I want it to do. And so what they're constantly thinking about is how I can make my money work for me instead of me working for my money. So that's what I want us to do. Stop working for the money and figure out ways to make your money work for you. Young people, I'm looking at you around the room again because I'm thinking about all of the ways you make money work. I'm looking at the hairstyle. I'm looking at the makeup. I'm looking at the eyelashes. I'm looking at the shoes. I talked to a group of young people at my church a few years ago, and one of the young ladies, she made eyelashes, and I told her to market them, start selling them. Just about every woman in our church, they got the lashes on. And I encourage her, promote your business so that people that look like you can utilize the service that you offer. Because we're going to the beauty supply stores, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
We're going to Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. Do we know them? No, but we do know you that's sitting in this room with us. And if we're displeased with the product that you make, guess what we can do? We can tell you. If you want our business, you're gonna do things differently so that you can continue to gain the money. All right. So I just wanted us to really think about that. This is me. I just wanted to just highlight it again. I'm a member of 23rd Street Missionary Baptist Church South. Many of you have come, so you guys know where we're at. I wear a lot of hats and a lot of titles, but the one thing I'm most proud of is that I'm a born-again believer in Jesus Christ. Christ has saved me from the penalty and the punishment of sin, and I get to spend eternity with him. And I'm looking forward to that. They ain't rushing, but I'm looking forward to it. So I always want to emphasize that part, is one day he's going to come back for somebody like me, and my name is going to be on that roll, and I'm going to hear it say, servant, well done. I'm a wife, my husband is here. I have 2 children, and they're adults. One is 34, and the other one is 34, and the other one is 30. And I have a grandson who'll be 3, he'll be 4 in October. So looking forward to just watching him grow and enjoy life with him. As we look at this topic of today about retirement, how many retirees do I have in here already? Perfect, I got 2. Are you where you want to be in retirement? Not yet? Okay, all right. Do you think you can get there? All right. Ashley and I, Terica, we've come today to encourage you. It's not too late. Where you are right now is not where you will be in the future. I want to encourage you not to get discouraged, not to throw your hands up, not to throw in the towel, but to put your nose to the grind and let's get this done. It takes time, it takes discipline, but it takes encouragement too. And so if you have a village of people that surround you, that village can help encourage you to know that it's not too late, but it's coming, it's on the way. All right, as we look, having a clear vision. Vision is a mental image of what the future would or could look like. To see it in your mind's eye first. That's what it is. When you have a vision, it hasn't unfolded yet, but it's on its way. But you gotta have it in your mind, right? I keep wanting to emphasize that word mindset, having a changed mind. Many Americans are behind schedule when it comes to saving for retirement. Others don't have a retirement plan at all. The need for some investment strategies has never been greater. You and I, we're gonna work hard and diligently to get to that point. I wanna say, be consistent and take action steps over time. Don't put off for tomorrow the things that you can do today. Oh, I'm gonna save it tomorrow. It goes back to what you said, Ashley. I just hit a 9 to 5. I'm so tired. I'm passing Burger King, Tzatziki's, Captain D's, all of my, Chick-fil-A, all of my favorite restaurants, and y'all know what? They can hold the smell in those places to where when we drive by, we don't smell them. But why would they? Why would they, right? They're advertising, here, come see us, stop on your way home, and if you're not disciplined enough, you're gonna give in, and you're gonna pull in, and you can't even say, you know what, I only have $5, but when you see the menu, you can always find what? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we can always find more. We wanna talk about building multiple streams of income. How do we do that? Jeremiah, I know that's your favorite topic, right? How do we build multiple streams of income? I wanna say, you wanna diversify your streams of income. You got two areas. You got passive income and you got active income. Let's talk about that word income first of all. When we think about income, is what comes in to you. That means it's money that you have to have worked for, or money that you earn, or money that you're getting off of your investment assets, or it could be even off of the sale of a product. That's income. It's an exchange. Anything you receive in exchange for your labor or for the sale of your products or your investment. Passive income is generated with minimal ongoing effort after an initial investment of time, money, resources, such as like rental income. If you have an apartment, but you're by yourself, and you got a 3-bedroom apartment, nobody go in those other 2 bedrooms, rent them out. And I'm not telling you to rent it out to anybody, because strangers are real. You know, stranger danger, you know, you hear that. But rent it out so that you're pulling in, you're bringing in income. That's the way for you to build up an investment portfolio. If you have property that's sitting, the longer property sits without anybody living in that property, it starts to go down. And I'm not talking about just depreciation in value, but the house itself starts to fall apart. You gotta have somebody living in it. So your parents passed away, you got a house, rent it out, make it an Airbnb property, especially if it's in an area where frequent visitors travel. People are going to the casinos, they're going to the beaches, they're looking for vacation getaways. Rent that property out as an Airbnb property. You're gonna pay an expense on it because you're gonna wanna have somebody to come in and keep it clean, so that it's rentable for the next renter, or the next Airbnb guest. So you always wanna think about what expenses you're gonna have versus how much income you're gonna bring in from it. So always think about that. Income from online businesses, investments such as dividends or stocks, capital gains. That's where passive income comes into play at. Versus active income. Active income means you gotta be active. You getting up, going to a job. In return for the work that you do, you get paid. That's your active income. And so which one would you rather have, passive or active?
Passive.
So I want you to be thinking, how can I make passive income? What can I do? I don't have anything to offer. You may be a cook. Start preparing meals. Don't give those meals away for free. How many of you feel like you can make a better burger than McDonald's? Why aren't you? Well, you probably are. I take it back. You probably are making the better burger. Why are you not making the money that you're making?
What am I making the time?
It's the time. I just talked about that word consistency. It's about the time that we devote. If we're gonna have a side hustle, sometimes, y'all, it's gonna take us devoting just as much time to it as we do to making that millionaire job owner richer. We gotta growing your wealth. And the third one I'm gonna talk about is flexibility. That goes back to that burger and having the ability to do things differently. When we talk about financial security, we're talking about things like reducing reliance on that single source of income, protecting ourselves against job loss or the economic downturns. When we talk about growing our wealth, we want to talk about diversifying our income, which allows us to reinvest or to have compound interest over time. There is a difference in being wealthy and being rich. Does anybody know that? When you think about being rich, you think about the money that you have. You think about being able to buy whatever you want to buy. But when you think about wealth, wealth helps us to see it from a whole different mindset. Wealth is, how can I invest in future dividends, in future returns? Being able to be wealthy is having assets that generate income and provide financial security regardless of what's going on currently. How many of y'all know that gas prices have increased significantly? Food costs have increased significantly. Have you guys been in the Dollar General or Family Dollar, and what you used to could buy was lotion? You can send your children in there with $5 and they can bring back shampoo and conditioner, but now they can only bring back what? Even that, sometimes they can't bring it back. They're gonna come back to the car and say, Mom, I need $3 more. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's because everything has increased. But when you think wealth building, all of those things are off the table. You don't have it just so that you can spend it, but you have it if you need it. And I go back, I constantly think about that word budgeting. If you have it in your budget, you're able to make a drastic change in your lifestyle. Okay? Flexibility. Flexibility provides opportunities to pursue passions or scale businesses without being tied to a single job. Almost 50% of millennials rely on a side hustle to make ends meet. This is according to this company called Bankrate. Learning to make money outside of your job is going to be a beneficial asset to each one of us. I know you're wondering. All right, Sybil, tell me, how am I going to make it? I want to know you all. How can you make money outside? Jeremiah, I'm going to start with you.
I can fix some jobs.
And you can't fix it for free now. Okay. All right. With your time, how often do you get to do it?
Individual school starts to be harder. I think I should do a better job of promotion or so I keep myself out there. I had to run harder initially sometimes. Sometimes it comes to me though. Last Sunday the customers they say you were and then they need some breaks too. So I was running, so I got to do it website.
Okay. Let me say this. We're always thinking that we gotta do it with our hands, right? You don't. Yes, being a mechanic, you're passionate about that. How many of you have grabbed your phones and you clicked on this little app called YouTube? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, now we have a client, and I'll give you the name. Maybe I won't give you the name because he may sue me for not paying to promote his business. He owns a car dealership here in Birmingham. That car dealership has a business inside of it. His son encouraged him to start promoting his side business on YouTube. Y'all know YouTube pays him over $6,000 a month to promote what he sells outside of his side hustle. $6,000 a month. Jeremiah, I don't every single time something breaks. When my light goes out, I don't wanna have to go to the mechanic, but I don't know how to fix it. If you create a YouTube video to tell me how to change a light bulb on my Toyota Avalon, I'm gonna utilize your service. I'm gonna tell somebody else about that YouTube video who has a Toyota Camry. I'm gonna tell somebody else who has a Ford F-150. Go to Jeremiah's YouTube video. He's gonna tell you how to unscrew that light, how to screw it, and what light to buy at O'Reilly's, AutoZone. I'm gonna use you. The more views you get on YouTube, guess what's gonna happen?
The more your income is.
Revenue's gonna, yeah. YouTube is gonna start paying you. So don't think you always gotta put your hands on it. You don't. You can use your skills, your knowledge. We want your knowledge. Now I may have to use you, but for the little bitty things, I need your knowledge. So I wanna say that. Anybody else wanna throw out something that you're passionate about?
Great. You can make videos on telling people some of the same stuff we did today. Because there are so many people that want to fix their credit or be in a better financial situation, they just don't know what to do.
That's right. That's right. And there's so many things. If you're passionate about teaching God's word, there's so many people hungry for truth. Share a scripture a day. There's a guy named Robert Singleton that I listen to on YouTube every single morning. For sometimes it's less than 2 minutes, he does a prayer. And I wake up to Robert's prayer. And it encourages me to pray immediately once I get out of bed and before I start my day. And sometimes you feel like I don't have the time. Take the time as you're driving down the road. So many things. So those are just a few of the things. And on this list are streams of income ideas. I hope somebody took a minute and use your phone and just did a screenshot, because I don't want to go into each one of them, but take a quick screenshot so that you can think about any of these that may be helpful to you. Start a blog, do surveys, go online and just do surveys, and you get paid to take surveys. UAB pays you to do surveys. They're always doing studies, and they need someone to say, this worked, that worked, this didn't work, this, that, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It didn't work. Yes. And so just think about some of these things. As we think about that, I want to look at our passion and our purpose. What's your life mission statement? Has anybody ever written out your life's mission statement? I did that in 2010. I began to really think about, because so many times, y'all, we can be going in so many different directions. People can pull you to do this, they can pull you to do that, but if that's not your life's mission statement, it's okay to say, I can't do that. If it takes you off the beaten path of where you're supposed to be going, it's okay to say, I can't do that today. That's okay to help people, I'm not gonna say that at all. It's fine. But am I passionate about that? I'm a worker. I'm always doing something. Everything and anything people want me to do, I'm okay. But I find myself getting bogged down, and I really can't do the things that I'm passionate about doing. But I don't know what I'm passionate about unless I have a life's mission statement. What would you do today? Nobody would even have to pay you for it. You would do it anyway. That's your passion. You get paid and you enjoy doing it. That's a bonus. I don't have to go to my job with dread or apprehension. I actually go to my job with joy. I enjoy doing what I do. What about you, Ashley?
Yes. Making the community a better place.
That's a passion. That's a life's mission statement. Years ago, we decided this is where I want to be. I didn't always know that, but now that I do, I want to make sure I'm constantly aiming and achieving for the life's mission. Whatever you decide to do, make sure it's what you're passionate about. Unlike a career, reflects your personal philosophy and your guided principles rather than your professional objectives. Now, I want to talk about a few things in the line of risk management. When we think about retirement, there are some things that can affect our retirement more than we want them to. Protecting against the market, inflation risk, maintaining liquidity, and planning for healthcare and longevity. Those are just a few of the things in the risk management field that I want to talk about. When we talk about protecting those things, many of you may say something like, I'm not a risk taker. How many of you don't feel like you're a risk taker? Okay. Oh man, I'm glad you're saying that. Did you walk out the house this morning? You took a risk. Did you get in your car to get here?
Yes.
Yeah, you took a risk. Has anybody ever driven without your seatbelt on in the back seat? Yeah, you took a risk. All right. What about, has anybody ever taken pain medication on a regular basis? Yeah,
Yes.
you took a risk. You took a risk of it affecting your liver, your organs. You take a risk every single day, every single moment of your life. You're taking a risk. Anybody ever text while walking? Yeah, took a risk, right? What about, let me look around the room because I'm gonna throw this one out there. Anybody ever drink a sugary beverage? Yeah. We took a risk. Every moment you take that sugary beverage and put it in your body, you're risking diabetes. We don't think about that. We drink it because it tastes good. Y'all know why they make that stuff for us? Because our taste buds want something that's good, not for us, but it is good to us. So I just wanted to say, all of us are risk takers. So don't ever tell anybody that you're not a risk taker anymore. Because honestly, we really are. We risk. We take risks every day. Let's talk about the market risk. How do we protect against our stocks going down, our bonds dropping, our cash? We're depleting our cash faster than we want to. Investment returns can fluctuate due to economic or political events, potentially reducing retirement savings. To manage this, what we have to do is diversify across our asset classes. Have stocks, have bonds, have cash. Not 100% in one or the other. You want to mix them up. You want to have some stocks. And why do you think Sybil is talking about having stocks? Why do you think we need to have stocks? Passive income, and also because you need a voice. Anytime, this is one of the things I tell people, anytime you have stock, you have a voice for that company because you have just bought into that company. You go in Walmart and that worker treats you as though you are nobody. Remind them, especially the manager of that store, you are a stockholder. Because you have stock in that company, you're keeping that company up and active. When you stop buying stock, that company starts going down, and sooner or later, you're gonna see that stock go out of business. Anybody see Family Dollar businesses start closing the doors? You know why? Stockholders start cashing in the stock. They stop purchasing stock. Dollar Trees, they started closing the doors. A lot of the investors stopped investing in these companies. And as a result, they started closing down a lot of the stores. Now it has a lot to do with theft as well, losing inventory. A lot of that has a lot to do with it. But buying stock in companies gives you a voice. I want to talk about some of the stocks. A lot of people ask me, what kind of stock do I need to buy? How much money do I need? You can have as little as $10. You don't have to have millions, hundreds of thousands. You don't. You can start with $10. There are some companies that you can immediately start investing in, like Robinhood, Charles Schwab, Budget is one of them. What's the other one? Coinbase. What kind of stock should you buy? I'm not going to give you names, but what I am going to say, if you are a new stock investor, look around at yourself. Who you pay your light bill with? Invest in that company. What kind of car do you drive? If you drive a Toyota, look at their stock. Look at the clothes that you have on your body. What's the name in those clothes? If it's Nike, what's their stock? Look at that object that you have that you cannot go anywhere without, your phone. Who is that phone with? Apple, Android, Verizon, T-Mobile. What's the stock price? You may not be able to buy, Amazon, I forgot about that one, right? How many of y'all got packages that's on their way today? Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah, so think about things like that. And so when you start looking at those places that you spend money on, start looking at how you can be an investor in those companies. Start small. If you don't have enough money to buy a complete share, one share may be $100. It may take you 10 weekly cycles because you may put money in your stock account every week. It may take you 10 weekly cycles to build up to buy one share of that stock. Don't stop. Buy it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you want to think about, I'm thinking about today, I want to think about putting money somewhere, so I can pay twice a month. I would want to move it twice a month. But one guy, he told me, he was saying, his granddad put like $1,000 in the S&P 500, hoping that he did S&P 200. 35 now, he said it's almost that big. 1,000 in 20, 15 years. So I was like, we'll probably do that for $20 every time I get paid.
Every time. It's gonna build up. Because not only are you, now the thing about stocks, and I do want to preference this, stock is a risk. Stocks can go up, stocks can go down. But what else doesn't? Prices go up, prices come down, right? Even when we think about ourselves. 15 years ago, honey, I was super fine. Okay? You know, today, my heels can't get over 1.5 inches. You know, things change over time. And so invest as much as you can. Don't invest over the amount that you can. But it goes back to what Ashley said. You got the 50, you got the 30, and the 20% goes where? Savings. So take that 20. Now, I'm not telling you to take the 20% and put it in the market every single time, because you need to build your emergency fund. You need to have that fund for those things that you're gonna need right away, because stocks are long-term investments. Stocks are not short-term. If you put money in the stock market today, don't expect to get it out tomorrow, thinking that you're gonna earn. You see this man 15 years later, he's doing very well. If he's put $1,000 in a month, or a year, 1,000 a year, and then I want you to add it up. So calculate for me real quick, grab your phone. You get paid every 2 weeks, right? Okay, so you got 2 weeks, and this is gonna be a quick math. $20. So that's $40 a month, right? Times 12 months. How much is that? Waiting. How close to that 1,000 mark are you? You're 2 years out. In 2 years. So what he got every 1 year, you got every 2 years. You're not far behind the 8 ball. And then where you are in age, you're gonna be at that $1,000 mark probably in the next 10 years, if not sooner. And then where he was able to do 1,000 a year, you're gonna be doing 1,500 a year or more. So just think about it like, start small and let it grow. And that's same advice I give to people when it comes to stock. You want to buy low and sell high. When you buy stock, buy it at the lowest price you can buy it at, watch that stock so that when that market goes up to an amount that you want, you can sell it. You can buy something else or you can reinvest it in another rate. Does that make sense? Don't ever sell your stock lower than you bought it at. That's why you're putting it in the market, so that it can gain interest or greater price. So never sell when it's lower than what you bought it at. All right. So that again, that's the first. When we're talking about the market risk, consider low cost index funds, or you got your exchange traded funds. Those are the things that help minimize the volatility. You want to diversify. When I say diversify, I want to say you want to have a mixture, not one of everything. Your bonds. When you think about bonds, I remember growing up, we used to have what we call savings bonds. You can't walk in a bank today and buy a savings bond. Banks don't sell them anymore. You can bring them to the bank, and I think we still will cash them in, but you can't buy them. You gotta go on the U.S. Treasury's website, the federal government's website, to purchase them. When you're buying a bond, what you're actually doing is you're making a loan to a municipality or to a government agency. That sounds strange. I'm loaning them money because what they're doing is with the money that you're buying that bond for, you're saying to them, I'm gonna put $1,000 on this bond, and they're gonna take that money and they're gonna invest it. They're gonna take your money and use it so that they can grow your money and theirs. That's why you're loaning to them. Don't know that's what the bank do? The bank does the same thing. When you put your money in savings, a money market, a certificate of deposit, the bank takes your money and they loan against it. So if you put your money in a savings, what do I call it? A savings option at 2% interest rate, how much do you think the bank is going to turn around and loan you? Loan something before. That's because you're now paying for your own money. And so be careful with that. I don't say be careful not to save. I say definitely save. But just know your vehicles. Know what options you have. Because if you're trying to get to retirement, it's gonna take you a minute to get to that point. Now I know I'm running behind, so I'm gonna move faster. Again, when we talk about those exchange traded funds, we wanna just remember that it's gonna help us in the long run. Younger people usually buy more stocks for growth, and JT, I think this is important, while older adults buy more safe bonds to protect their money. Between the ages of 20 and 30, that age group typically have longer time before they need the money that they've invested. You won't need that money right away. So what they have is 90 to 100% of their money put in stocks. And I think that was the question that you were asking me. At this young age, unless you already have responsibilities, younger people can take their money. Twins, think about y'all. What kind of bills do y'all have? That's it, right? So you can put more than 10% is going to go towards your rent. You can take your other 90% and you can invest it. And most likely you're going to invest it in stocks. Not bonds, because bonds is for the long term. But you're going to invest it in stocks because at this point, you got more time for it to grow. Right? Between the ages of 40 and 50, that's when life peaks. More expenses come. You got a house, you got a car loan. Typically, your investment options are going to be 70 to 80% in stocks and bonds, which also adds protection. That's what the bonds are going to do. And then when you get 60 and older, you're going to only have 30 to 50%. More than likely is going to be a little bit of stock, but the majority of it is going to be in bonds. And you're going to do that because you need the dividends to come off of that and go back into your checking account for you to pay your bills every month. Okay, so it's added income for you. You use your investments as income. Younger people, you don't need that. You don't need the extra income because you're making really good money right now. But as you get older, the income that you were making, you don't make that money anymore. So you'll get your Social Security, you'll get your pension, and then you add your own extra income to dividends, okay? Now, let's talk about inflation. Something I talked about, loss of purchasing power, driven by the rising costs. We'll talk about that, but think about the inflation. How do we protect against inflation? We want to, number one, we want to be able to maintain in the midst of $1 today, it doesn't buy the same thing we bought last week, probably last year. If you have fixed income from pensions or traditional cash savings accounts, these typically do not adjust upward. It puts pressure on your fixed budget. And Gloria, you talked about those medical expenses. It puts pressure on that because even with the Medicare, sometimes where you would spend $5 or $1 on a prescription, because of inflation, it goes up to $7 and $10. So we have to be careful with that. A fixed budget means you have to go into your savings more to make purchases that are necessary for your daily living. How do we adjust to that? Inflation protection. When you consider savings options, you want to allocate funds towards what we call the Treasury inflated protected securities. Those are the things that help ensure adjustments that match the rising price costs that we experience on a daily basis. When we maintain liquidity in retirement, it's a strategic focus on our cash reserves, our structured asset budgets, and our flexible credit line. I encourage senior adults to get a line of credit. If you've had a house that you're buying for at least 20 years, as you're in retirement or before you go into retirement, I encourage you to get a line of credit. Get a line of credit because you're going to have expensive home repairs. Has anybody ever replaced windows in your house? How much did you pay?
It's pretty expensive.
Pretty expensive, right?
Yeah.
Anybody ever had pipes to bust under your house? Count the cost because it will happen. Anybody ever had like air conditioners to go out? Yeah. And did you have to get a new air conditioner or were you able to patch it up? A new one, patch up. Prepare for that time when that's gonna go down too because you got to, and I say that because I encourage you, as you're building wealth, you wanna make sure you got that blueprint for the emergency fund set aside. $1,000 used to be the goal. I encourage people have no less than $3,000 in a savings account. Because of inflation, every price has gone up. Repairmen, they got families to feed just like we do. They want to help, but guess what? They're in the business of making money. And so in the business of making money, their prices have gone up. And so we want to be prepared. How do we maintain liquidity? I want to talk about building a cash buffer, such as having 1 to 2 years living expenses. That's why I say at least have $3,000 a month in your emergency fund, and then you want to have 1 to 2 years of your living expenses in a high yield savings account or some kind of money market account. And when I say high yield, I'm talking about anything paying 5%, 4% to 5% or greater. You want to have that budget set aside. Separate your funds into your short term, your medium term, and your long term. Short term can be cash, medium term can be your CDs or certificates of deposit, And your long term is gonna be your investments in your stock market, things like that. Set up a home equity line, as I said, but then the last thing I'm gonna talk about is make sure you have a budget. Don't live without a roadmap. And a roadmap is nothing more than where you want your money to go. When your money comes in, it ought to have, you ought to have a map that teaches you how to economically use that money to take care of your lifestyle. Next thing I want to talk about is planning for healthcare. This is the impact. When we talk about, when we ask ourselves, the healthcare costs, Medicare, and longevity. While working, contribute to a health savings account. Put money away because the health savings account helps you to pay for those expensive medical costs. Enroll in Medicare A, B, and D during the initial enrollment window. Do y'all know when you get a certain age, like 65, and I think at our age is 67, when you get to that age, if you don't enroll in Medicare Part A and B, you're gonna pay a penalty. Know when you are supposed to enroll, because if you don't, the penalty is pretty expensive. So don't get caught up in that. And the way to find out, you can go to Medicare.gov and find out what your year of enrollment is supposed to be. Once it tells you your enrollment year, put that on your calendar because you don't want to miss that enrollment date. And the last thing is look into supplemental coverage like Medigap, Medicare Advantage plans, and also manage your out-of-pocket. Those are the things that help manage your out-of-pocket expenses. There's a gap between here, and so you want to always make sure that you're registered. I want to give you these important numbers. These are the phone numbers that every one of us need to have for Medicare and Social Security. So those are just some important numbers that we want to keep. Alright, the insurance shield. This was the last topic that I wanted to talk about. I brought all these up together because I want us to know that many of us think that insurance is optional. Honestly, y'all, insurance really is not. I want to just read this one quick thing to you because it's so important that we understand when it comes to insurance. Retirement often brings a shift in priorities. Many retirees overlook critical insurance gaps that can lead to costly surprises. Insurance transfers risk from you to the insurance company. Ask yourself the question, when was my last policy review? Do I have enough coverage to meet the rising cost of inflation? Is my homeowner's policy up to date? Many times people will allow their insurance to lapse and then an emergency will come up. A lot of insurance companies will let you come back and pay those premiums to reinstate that insurance, but some of them won't. I got a young lady now, she's 94 years old. She's been paying her insurance premium, but because of dementia, she didn't remember to pay it. And as a result, she has no life insurance.
Wow.
And she's 94. How many of you think the funeral home is gonna understand that?
Nobody.
They're not. They're gonna want their money up front. They're gonna want that money when their body is picked up so that they can take care of those expenses. I say that because that middle lead is life insurance. It's important not only for us, but it's important for our family. For those of you who say, I don't have anything right now, so I'm not gonna have anything to leave my children, life insurance can cut that conversation out. If you have life insurance, you're preparing to leave something for your family. If you don't have life insurance, you're saying, I don't care what happens to my family. And I'm not saying that you gotta start it today, but I'm saying you need to start sometime soon. It's better sooner than later. I was sharing with Ashley, my father, I had in the year of 2022, I had two important deaths in my life. My biological father passed June the 11th of 2022. My stepdad, who raised me for 49 years, he passed away July 11th of 2022, 30 days apart. My biological father he didn't have anything that he left for me. My stepfather, he had 40 acres of land left for me, life insurance left, not just for me, but my siblings. He prepared for death, whereas one did, the other didn't. Do I love him any less? No. But what I did think about is, if he had thought enough about me then, I would be okay now. And so one did, one didn't. So just be careful and think about those thoughts. Long-term care insurance helps you to prepare for if you have to go in a nursing home or an extended stay in a hospital where you can no longer take care of yourself. That's where long-term care insurance comes into play. Your children don't have to take turns sitting around the clock to care for you. They can pay for a sitter to come in and take that expense off of them. When it comes to nursing home care, y'all, nursing home care, I put my uncle in a nursing home in 2020, and nursing home here in Birmingham, it costs us $7,945 a month. Yeah. So I had some money for him, but I didn't have enough money for him to last throughout the stay. He's still in a nursing home today, and he's in his 60s. Long-term care helps you with that. It's expensive the older you get. The younger you are, it doesn't cost quite as much. There's a difference in term insurance and whole life insurance. Term is set just for a period of time. Term can be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. After that term, it expires, but you can renew it. But as you renew it, the price of it, the premiums go up. If you're in your 20s, you might be paying $16 a month. But if you get it for 10 years, now you're gonna be, 30s. In those 30s, that price is probably gonna go to like $20-something a month. But if you get it at 60 and 70 years old, you're gonna be paying $100+ a month. Get a whole life policy because the premiums don't change, but it's for your whole life up to you're 100 years old. And after 100 years old, they pay that insurance money back to you. So live past 100 is my encouragement. My last thought, and I see Terica's got it up, she's like, Sybil, your time is up. Thank you for your time today. Life insurance should be a cornerstone of your financial plan. Without it, your family may not have the resources to meet their financial needs. So let's make the best with the life that we have today. Thank you.